Hello everybody, I'm so happy you joined us tonight, and we're gonna wait a little bit while other people start to come on, so thank you again for joining. And tonight's show is share. Oh yeah, don't forget to share. Send me some hearts too, I could use some loving, couldn't we all? So go ahead and type in share on your timeline and call your friends, make sure they get on, that'd be great. Because we're going to have a really good show tonight. So In Light of Awareness is going to be on discernment and deception. So that's going to be a really interesting subject. So you tell me, where in your life have you been deceived? And that will kind of help you understand some of the things that go on in your life. And you know, deception can maybe go to as far as actually even being betrayed. And so understanding and distinguishing the difference and discerning, not being afraid or fearful, just taking caution. Because you don't want to be afraid of everything or everyone and all the events that are going on in your life. It's not about fear, it's understanding that fear is there. And once we've been deceived or betrayed or hurt, we want to, you know, we kind of like shy away. We decide to kind of clam up. We don't speak our truth. We try to avoid. We start making assumptions, and then we start justifying. So there's a lot of things that go around discernment and deception. But when you can perceive and look ahead and watch someone's actions and their activities and listen to that gut feeling, and that's something we all have. And I know everyone out there has experienced that at least once in their life, where they've had this gut feeling of just knowing. You don't know how you know, but you just know it. And do you act upon that? Do you avoid it? You know, what are you doing? You know, think about that. What happens when you don't act upon it and you allow your actions to be overrode by your fears or your doubts? And then you get caught up in being deceived again when you were given the messages. And this is why discernment is a cautionary measure, not a fearful measure. And when you can understand the difference between that, then you can become more discerning with people, with events, in business, in personal life, and even out in the social setting. And look deeper into how discerning are you. What do you project out to the world around you, to people that you interact with? How many times have you deceived someone and maybe not intentionally, but all of a sudden it ended up that way? Or maybe you were just kind of on the borderline? Take a look at those things, and they're not always pretty to look at when you have that reflection back at yourself. But this is all a part of that growth in what's going on. So discerning takes in a whole arena of a lot of different things and a lot of different aspects in your life. So when you look at deception, so where do you feel in your life that you experience more deception? Is it at work? Do you work in a big office, a big warehouse type of setting where there's a lot of people that have to get interacted with? You know, sometimes people get envious, especially if you're more alert, more aware. You interact with the boss, you know, sometimes, you know, you're looked at as being, ooh, a brown noser, or, you know, things like that, where maybe there's safety. Because if you're in a big warehouse, safety comes into this. And you need to be discerning with what goes on when there's heavy equipment or a lot of height and things could fall off the shelves. So there's a lot of discernment in how you package where you work and the people around there. And not everyone understands that. And that goes kind of into responsibility. So your responsibility also impacts how you discern it at work, or even in a personal relationship, in a parent position with a child. So there's many avenues that come in. It's not just cut and dry. It sure would be nice if everything was cut and dried, but it's not. So it's learning how to interact with all of that. So look around in your life. Do you take responsibility for your actions? Or do you make excuses for those actions and then justify that? That's all a part of discerning and deception. Being irresponsible. Sometimes we find ourselves being irresponsible because we want to fit in. We want to be the norm. We don't want people talking behind our back. We want people to like us. So we go against our own personal principles and the integrity of who we really are. So it's that discerning and being true to yourself, being responsible for the actions, for all of your actions and your reactions to others. So before you open mouth, insert foot, or have that automatic response where you're going to just, whoa, go out and grab somebody's jugular, it's like take a deep breath and just let all of those things analyze in a split second. I know some of these things that I'm talking about sound like, oh my gosh, this is like so complicated. I got to remember to do this and do this and do this, and then, oh my gosh, then I got to go do that and do that and do that. No, it's all done in such a split second because everything you know is already stored within your database of information. And it's those things that are buried in the subconscious database that has us discerning and deceiving out of fear. And that's when we start becoming more irresponsible than responsible, because we want people to like us. We want people to accept us. We want to fit in. We want to feel good. So here we are becoming someone that we're not. What does that do with your integrity? What does that do with your confidence level? What does that do with your success levels? What does that do with your impression of who you are? Are you living your truth? Are you living a lie? And again, this whole month we're talking about coexisting with duality. And it's not just the coexisting with it. It's navigating through life and understanding what duality is all about, because one duality also connects with another duality, just as we've shown here with responsibility, irresponsibility, deception and discernment, fear, and so all of these things come into play. They don't always mean the same thing under certain elements. So it's all about really understanding and listening to that gut, listening to what your intuition is telling you when there's activity going on around you. When you live in integrity and you live in your truth, then discernment becomes second nature. And you don't walk in the guise of deception and make an excuse for it or a reason for it so it doesn't sound like you were deceptive. We play this silly game in our heads and that interaction because we want so badly to just be accepted and to fit in and to be part of the crowd, being one of the cool ones. When you're true to yourself, you're going to find living in integrity, being true to yourself, being responsible for all your actions, and really functioning from that level. You're going to harmonize with a lot of things in life. Your work is going to change, your home environment's going to change, your social activities are going to change, because there's billions of people in the world. And when you reach out and you become that expression of the truth of who you are, you're going to attract into your life those that are going to interact on that same level. And discernment is going to be an automatic, because you'll have that understanding and you'll have that connection with yourself, so that others are going to see that in you and be a reflection of, and you're going to attract those kind of people in your life. So you don't have to fear deception, you don't have to fear betrayal, you don't have to feel people are going to reject you, you don't have to feel abandonment issues. So all of these things begin to change, and all of that begins within here. And you know, that kind of leads us up to the next little part here. What I would like to talk to you about is, I'm located currently in Las Vegas, Nevada, and what I have coming up next Thursday, the 25th, is a class that I'd like to invite you all to, called Coexisting with Duality, where we're going to touch in some really, really deep things that are going to help you understand you. And I'll be able to share with you 5 steps that are going to impact your life and make these changes and help your awareness, help you find your who, your what, your why, your purpose, and how, show you different phases on how being responsible and discerning and finding your truth. So there's a lot of things that can get discovered here, so that you're working through that subconscious. So watch my pages, watch for all of this, and the link to that class will be down here in the comments. And please give me some feedback here. If you have any questions, please ask those questions, because if you know, these questions are going to be here to help you on your journey in finding harmony with duality, finding harmony in yourself, finding peace within yourself. And that's what it's all about, finding those that you can surround yourself with that are going to be of like minds and of like integrity, and really have a compassion and really show that love for who you are, and to accept you and all that you have to offer, and lift you up instead of, you know, beat you down. And when you have others lifting you up, you can lift yourself up. And this is what, in Light of Awareness, this little 15-minute program is all about: lifting you up, helping you find you, and just become aware of the world around you and the world within you, because the world within you is so different when you start looking at that from a different perspective. And that's my purpose. My purpose here is to help you find your purpose. And I want to thank every one of you for being here and letting me show you what I have to offer to help you, to lift you up, and to become that expression of truth. And so thank you for being here. Again, comment, ask questions. I want to share with you what we're going to do next week. Next week we're going to talk about the reflection of the self in others and turn obstacles into assets. So it's just kind of, it'll kind of incorporate a little bit what we talked about here tonight and take it into another format. And so it's going to be so much fun, you know, and I want you to think about that. So if you have obstacles that maybe you might be challenged with when it comes to duality, put those in the comment box. Ask me about, you know, share those questions of, you know, share your obstacles, because that'll give me something to share with you and give you some guidance and direction on your obstacles, and show you a way to turn those obstacles into assets. And that will coincide with the responsibilities and with the discernment. So it just kind of all comes together, and it's been so much fun here tonight again, and it's been a delight, and I'm enjoying this every week. I look forward to Tuesday nights. So please like and share and send me some loving, and don't forget to put your questions down here and share with that. And be sure and come back next week so that you can hear the answers and find out what we can do to help you overcome those obstacles. Okay? So thank you, everyone, and goodbye for now.